Okay. Um, I got one that a news article that just popped up on my feed, so uh, I just wanted to read it real quick. Um, Going back to Iran because I was curious about this. So I'll go ahead and show it to you guys here. But so this is from the Times of Israel. Just a Zionist it's not a good source of news or whatever. Very Israel centered. I would almost equate it similarly to maybe like a slightly further right New York Times. Uh, for Israel, if I had to give it a just like if I had to equate it to something in America, um but anyway, I guess we know what that present was. Apparently. So it says Iran present touted by Trump was passage of several fuel tankers through Hormuz. By Jacob Magid. U.S. sought signal from Iran to see if worth pursuing diplomatic off ramp. Trump has refrained from publicizing nature of gesture due to its limited impact, officials tell Toll. So the president that U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran gave Washington was allowing the safe passage of a number of fuel tankers through the Strait of Hormuz in recent days. A senior Arab diplomat and a U.S. official told the Times of Israel, I'm trying to explain his decisions to pursue talks with Iran. Trump told reporters on Tuesday that Tehran did something yesterday that was amazing. They gave us a present worth a tremendous amount of money. It arrived today. They gave it to us and they said they were going to give it. That meant, well, yeah, we already heard him say all that. I don't need to read it again. The U.S. official told the Times of Israel on Wednesday when the Trump administration began passing along messages to Iran through mediators over the weekend in order to test whether a diplomatic off ramp to the war is possible. It asked Tehran to make a gesture of goodwill. In response, Iran agreed to allow a number of fuel tankers that weren't tied to the U.S. or Israel through the Strait of Hormuz in order to help calm global markets, the Arab official said. That sounds sketchy. Um, this sounds like they were already allowing non-U.S. and Israel ships to go through. I think that they were specifically not allowing uh, Gulf states that were allied and were at war with Iran, such as like Saudi Arabia, UAE, um, like those types of like all of the Gulf countries. I think they weren't allowed to go through. I think U.S. and Israeli ships weren't allowed to go through, and I think EU ships at this point in time were not allowed to go through. Basically, America allied forces that are in any way involved in the war, be it through intel or bases or whatever, those ships are not allowed to go through, is what is my understanding. So Chinese ships are going through. Iran is selling oil to their allies. So this almost seems like something like he is manufacturing some sort of consideration from Iran, maybe. Like Iran was just doing these things on their own, and then Trump uh, is just claiming that they're actually doing it because he told them to, is kind of like my interpretation. But the Arab official acknowledged that the safe passage of a small number of tankers was not likely to have a significant or long-term impact on oil prices, a concession that Iran is not yet prepared to offer while U.S. and Israeli strikes continue. The limited impact of the president explains why Trump avoided specifying exactly what it was, the Arab official said. Asked for comment, the White House referred the Times of Israel to Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt's comments on the matter during a Wednesday press briefing. As far That's what I was listening to earlier. As far as tankers through the strait, it's something we're tracking very closely, Leavitt told reporters about the key shipping lane near Iran. Without commenting further on the nature of the present described by Trump, however, the press secretary said there is no specific timeline on when all tankers will be able to move freely. We're going to see prices at the pump go back down, Leavitt added, arguing the Trump administration's prioritization of domestic energy production will help stabilize prices when the military operation in Iran is over. Yeah, okay, so I think maybe we'll get more reporting on this like tomorrow or something. We'll see if I'm correct, but this really is giving me the vibe that he just found something that Iran was already doing and then claimed that they're doing it as a gesture of goodwill or as a like to indicate that they are actually negotiating or something because a lot of the media coverage lately has been around how like Iran is constantly saying no, we are not negotiating with you guys, we're not ready to end the war, and Trump keeps saying oh, they're totally negotiating with us. And it's frankly quite embarrassing for America in general, and in particular for Donald Trump for this to keep happening and for the reporting to be going this way. So that's kind of why I think that this is probably just some manufactured win from Donald Trump, which, he has a history of doing manufactured wins, so it's not that like unbelievable or anything.